Obviously, this was a sort of a love letter to stunts, and that, you know, having been in the business for over 2 decades as a stunt performer and coordinator, I wanted to make sure that we were doing some really big practical stunts, and also I wanted to pay sort of a homage to the history of stunts and doing some really fun ones in the spirit of some of the classics.
David challenged the team to break a world record. He actually even put it in the script and ended up deciding that it was a cannon roll. And that's from Casino Royale. Was the last longest car roll. I think they had the world record before we, on film, I should say. That one went down a hill, and ours was on sand flat, which is, sand is hard because that cannon hits down into a surface, and the harder the surface, the easier it is to roll it. I don't know how, but somehow we all were like, we're gonna get 8.5, or I think it was 8.5. It was like always we were gonna get 8.5. Like we want 8.5 because I think the last record was 7.
The Highfall was kind of inspired by Sharky's Machine. You know, there was a great Highfall in that movie. Assassin's Creed, yeah, Damien Walters did one, maybe 150 feet, 125 feet, something. Feet. And we had, you know, we did, what was our 150? 150. True Lies is such a great movie for action and relationship, right? And the stakes involved in those sequences. There's the final helicopter gag where, you know, he grabs her from the limo as it's going over the edge, and the helicopter's rising up, and he's got her by one hand. Like, that's an insane stunt.
It is.
To drive the car off of the bridge and lift her up. That's a really insane stunt. The chase where we had the garbage bin spinning around and things like that, that was really inspired by Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. There's a great truck sequence in that where Indy is like trying to transfer from truck to truck, and like he's hanging behind it. And I think we started out there, but then as the guys got into the choreography, it started to become its own version of that. It's definitely inspired by Indiana Jones and sort of how he's always overwhelmed and outmatched, but somehow figures a clever way out of it.
And when he's under the truck being pulled,
dragged behind the truck. That whole era of stunts from those 80s action movies, 80s and 90s action movies, are baked into the DNA of the Fall Guy, for sure. There's a big car jump at the end of the movie. That's inspired by Smokey and the Bandit and Hooper, both Burt Reynolds movies. So it was really fun to like figure out like how can we take that to the next level. First sort of truck jump in the movie, it's inspired by the Fall Guy television show. Every episode, you'd see the truck, the GMC Sierra, enter the chase from behind a hedge of bushes or over a wall, and it was always sort of this classic, like, here are the bad guys, and they would come in hot pursuit. And so we wanted to sort of do that same sort of jump with the new Sierra, and we did it. It was great. Yeah. It was fun.